Every town has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday night. Happy Ghost Biker Garage finally back on after missing a week night. Very excited to be here. I am your host, the Ghost Biker, and we are in for another live investigation. And I'm extremely excited about this. If you tuned in a few weeks ago, you saw that we were at, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, you saw we were at the historic First National Bank building, which is the office where we now sell our tickets as well as have our gift shop there at the historic Scott County Jail. And so did a little live investigation there, and it proved to be kind of interesting. Now, what's really cool about that is we didn't get really anything crazy or insane. We are going to do a live review of that episode and of that investigation here probably next week. But I think one of the most interesting things about that is we had like 2 significant hits on the tripwire. Not much else, but we did get some things whenever I went down to the jail to check on the team who was investigating and turn the lights off for them. We got some pretty cool stuff, as well as when they were radioing us. I know that some people said they heard what sounded like a male voice coming over the walkie-talkie. So, but we'll talk all about all of that whenever we come back and do the live review of that episode and that investigation here in a few next week. Last week, I was on a much needed vacation, and so I was down at the beach. Got to take a little bit of time off and a little bit of time away before we hit things really hard here with the convention season as well as with the jail. So so we're back and excited to do another live. I love doing these lives, investigating with you guys. It's a lot of fun to do it during the season, but it's so much more fun to just be able to do it on a random Thursday night. And I don't know about y'all, but it's pretty dang cold here in Northeast Tennessee. Yesterday we were sitting at about 76 degrees. And then today we had sleet and ice, and they were predicting a little bit of dusting of snow. So just some kind of weird, wonky weather. Just want to say hello to everyone that's taken the time to tune in here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got Miss Nancy Weems. I hope you're doing well. Hello to Miss Jolly Goins. Hope you're having a great night. Mr. James Brady, always good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Miss Sonia Thompson, hello. Hope things are going well there in North Georgia. Yes, my business partner and bestie, Dr. Christy Sumner. Yes, first day of spring, and what a great way to ring it in, but with frigid cold temperatures. So yes, thank you for reminding me of that. Hello to Susan Davidson. Hope you all are doing well and getting some investigating in and everything. Miss Susan Purcell, another Susan on there. Hello, dear friend. Hope you're doing well. Wow, we got a lot of folks on here tonight. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Melissa Miller, hello to you, and Linda Judd, Mr. Daryl Paulette, there from Clover Hill Village. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. So you guys are going to have to help me put your thinking caps on, because we're going to be doing a live investigation of an item. Now, I can't say that this item is haunted. I've never experienced anything from this. I will give you a little more detail about it here in just a few minutes. And just because we don't get activity doesn't mean it doesn't have energy attached to it. But I was talking with some friends today, and even if we don't get any type of activity from it, I think that there are some really interesting experiments that we can try, not just tonight, but in the future. And we'll talk all about that here in a few minutes. But I do want to take a few minutes before we start the investigation and just talk briefly about a few really cool and interesting events that we've got going on. As always, don't forget, let me pull this up here. Um, don't forget that you can still book investigations for the historic Scott County Jail and historic Rugby After Dark. We had a very successful extended period where we allowed you to investigate extended hours during the before the time changed, and so a lot of teams took advantage of that. And so we are now back to our regularly scheduled hours at the jail, where we're open 5 days a week, every day but Tuesday and Wednesday. And we are open with the regular hours for investigation, the 6.5 hour investigation. If you would like to find out more information or to book that, you can visit the historic scottcojail.com, where you can book your investigation, book your tours, your guided ghost hunts, or if you go and visit historyhighwayshaunts.com, you can book your rugby investigation tours and guided ghost hunts that we have there. I know that rugby has officially opened back up for their regular season, and that was last Saturday that they officially opened up, but they are having their celebration this coming Saturday. That was rescheduled due to the terrible, terrible severe weather that came through here last Saturday night. And so they did postpone their road bowling and their celebration to this coming Saturday. We will have a booth set up at the village. So you're definitely going to want to do that. I think it runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so you can either come and see us at the jail or you can come and visit us at Historic Rugby Village. And Chris, if I've left anything out of there, please feel free to mention that. Yes, thank you so much for putting that in there in the comment section. Another thing, actually, let me get that pulled up while we're talking about the historic Scott County Jail and different events that we've got going on. We did just announce early last week that, whoops, let me pulling up the website now so you can see it. Okay, so we did also just announce our Blessing of the Bike event that we're having. We have that every single year, and so it is our annual event. And let's get that pulled up here. Excuse me. It is our annual Blessing of the Bikes event. It's going to take place on Saturday, April 12th, and it's going to run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And the cool thing about this that makes it a little bit different than some of the traditional bike blessings that are out there is this is a roll through bike blessing. It's not just, you're not going to show up at a certain time and do the blessing. You're actually going to be able to come in anytime from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is a free event that's going to be taking place at the historic Scott County Jail Museum. We're going to have breakfast biscuits available for purchase while they last. We're only going to have so many, and it'll probably be, I think, sausage biscuits and bacon biscuits that you can roll through, get your blessing, get you a breakfast biscuit. And if you got a little bit of time that you want to spend with us, which we would greatly appreciate, you can get tickets to tour the Jailhouse Museum at the door. And very, very excited to announce that we are actually, let's see here. I don't know why there we go. That was really kind of weird. So what's going to be really cool about this is that we did just announce that Bethy Lewis with Bethy Lewis and the Electric Pineapple is going to be performing at this event. She's going to be performing from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you follow the Historic Scott County Jail Facebook page, she actually performs our intro song to our podcast that we do called Run Rebel Run. And it's a song that she wrote specifically about the Historic Scott County Jail and the murder of Sheriff Richard Ellis. So we're really excited. She's going to be coming down from Michigan and performing during this event. And so it's going to be a free concert that she's going to be doing. So we're very, very excited to have her with us. Just checking the comments over here just to make sure that I've not missed anything. Hello to the dream interpreter, Miss Dee Dee. Thank you so much for tuning in here. And to D Hoot, it's always good to see you. It's been a while, and we're excited to have you guys back on here. And of course, Becky Paulette. So, all right. Now to get to a couple other events that we've got going on. Let me get these pulled up. Let's see here. Got a lot of things here on the screen to talk about. Okay, so, whoa, I don't know why everything is kind of shifting there. Okay, so getting all these notifications popping up. There we go. So this is our very next event that's coming up, and it's coming up next weekend, and that is Vet City Con. We've been talking about this for several months now, since actually late last year. We've been talking about it. Both Dr. Christy Sumner and I are going to be part of this. This is going to take place at the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it's going to take place next Saturday, which is March 29th. And it is a horror, pop culture, and paranormal event. I know that Beth Allen from Octagon Hall is going to be there, as well as Tyler Main and Candace Rose. I mean, that's just to name a few of the folks that are going to be there. Both Dr. Sumner and I are going to be there representing our respective teams. I'll be there for Ghost Biker Exploration. She'll be there for Soul Sisters Paranormal. And I'll have a table for the Historic Scott County Jail, and she will be representing Historic Rugby After Dark. So if you're looking for something really fun to do this coming weekend, next weekend on Saturday, March 29th, please plan to join us up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. You'll be glad you did. You can find out more information at www.offbeathorror.com. You can also go back to the Jailhouse Informant podcast and watch the one that we did with Chad Shepard, who's putting this event on, and you'll find out more information about that. So that is coming up very quickly on this coming Saturday. Now, the next event and I don't know why this is doing this weird little thing when I go to pull things on and off the screen there. It's kind of weird how that's doing that. The next thing, and I'm trying to do these in order of what we've got going on, so in order of each month. So we have Enigma Cons. That's going to be taking place in April. Let me get that poster up here. They've done a really cool job of putting announcements and such out on their page. But you guys have heard me talk about EnigmaCon multiple times. This one's going to be taking place over the weekend of April 26th. And it's going to be taking place at St. Albans. It's put on by Bedford Paranormal. We've got a few of Bedford folks over here in the chat room. We've had them on the show before, and we've done some live broadcasts from St. Albans Sanatorium. And this is a lot of fun. It's vendors, lectures, and a paranormal investigation. Most of, I know that I'm going to be arriving on that Friday night, the 25th, but all the events take place on April 26th. It is a day full of some really great vendors and some really great presentations that will take place with the investigation taking place that night. I don't know if there's still tickets left. I know this event typically sells out pretty quick. So if there are any of the Bedford folks over here in the comments section, if you could let me know if there's still tickets, we'll definitely get the link out there. But you can visit StAlbansVirginia.com, and you can purchase your tickets there if there are still some left. So I'm very excited to be as part of this really cool lineup that's taking place here on April 26th. Now, wow, like I said, this is really odd. This every time I hit remove from the screen, it always removes it, does not remove it from the lineup there. Okay, so then after April, we're going to be going into May. May is pretty busy there. We're excited. I'm excited to be a part of the Shadows and Spirits Paracon that's going to be taking place at the Thomas House. This is going to be such a fun event. This will be my first time actually really spending a lot of time at the Thomas House. I know this place has an amazing reputation, and it's put on by Mark Walsh. They're with Ghosts of Tennessee. And so I was on his podcast just a few weeks ago talking about this, but excited to be part of this great lineup. And this is just to name a few of the folks that are going to be there at that event. So that's going to take place on May 3rd, and you can purchase the tickets from FreshTix.com. Let me actually scroll down there and just make sure that let's see here. There we go. Let me just kind of scroll down to see if it has the link for that. They have announced a lot of their different vendors and such. I know they're still looking for sponsors, but they've got their special guests and everything. If you go and check out their Facebook page, it's got the link for those tickets. We'll get that posted here so that you can go to the direct link to purchase your tickets. The other final event that we're going to talk about, because we've got a lot of events lined up through the remainder of the year, but let me just pull this last final one up that we're really excited to be a part of, and that is the Wisconsin Cryptids, Anomalies, and Paranormal Convention. And that's going to take place on Mother's Day weekend. It's a full weekend of events. And on May 9th, they're going to have their VIP dinner as well as Bigfoot hike. And so I can't wait to take part in that, because that'll be my first Bigfoot hike, and to be able to do it in Wisconsin, where they've got some pretty incredible stories. I can't wait. So I know they still have tickets for some of these, so definitely go and check that out. Saturday is going to be the convention. Of course, they've got their speakers and their vendors. They're going to have gallery readings. Lots of really cool things going on Saturday. And then on Sunday is the paranormal investigation. And with that investigation, they're breaking it up into two parts. They're going to have an early investigation and a later investigation. So you can find out all of that information by either scanning the QR code that'll take you directly to purchase tickets, or you can visit wisconsincaps.com and get all the information where they break down everything that's going on, and you can find out more. And that's going to be taking place there in Appleton, Wisconsin. So that's just a few of the events that we've got going on that I'm excited to be a part of. And so I hope that you too will go and check out tickets if it's in your neck of the woods. Come and see us. I know there's a lot of great people, and these guys that put these events on, they spend a lot of time, money, and a lot of effort. And a lot of these events are fundraisers that go to help some of these different locations. I know that the Spirits and Shadows is going to is a fundraiser for, I believe, the roof there at the Thomas House. And I know that, St. Albans there with Enigma Cons. I mean, these locations, they're a lot to maintain. So I know every little bit helps. And, but we will be posting links to all of that stuff. If you have any questions at all, you'll be able to click on those and reach out to those event organizers and such. But I want to go ahead and get to tonight's investigation because I gotta say, like I said, I don't know if this item is actually active, if it's got any type of energy attached to it, but it is something. It was gifted to me a few weeks ago, and it's got a pretty interesting little history to it. We know about this probably about this much of the history of this item, so we're going to see if maybe they'll share some of that tonight. But like I said, I do want to try some different experiments with it in some different locations. Now, because it is quite a cold, rainy, chilly night, I am here at my house. And so I wanted to pick somewhere that was somewhat neutral to do the investigation, and that was comfortable. My house does have just a little bit of activity. I did investigate it a few, I guess it's been about, well, it was right after I started Ghost Biker Explorations. So it was about 6 years ago. I investigated my house, got a couple interesting responses while I was in here. We'll talk about that at another time. But they were, I can say they were familiar responses. It was related to family, and it was very, very much spot on. So that's really cool. This house, it was built in 1902, and it's been in the family. So it's not. I don't get activity all the time or anything like that, but it has been known to have a little bit of activity in it. Now, the item. So I want to make sure to put that out there. I did not want to investigate it in the jail or anything like that. Is somewhere where I know there's a lot of activity. I will say, so I got this. It's been about, I guess I've had it now 2 weeks. 2 weeks yesterday was when I brought this into my house. So then I did leave for vacation, and I got back very, very early. It was like 4 a.m. last Saturday. And I don't know if what I experienced in my house that night was related to this item that's in here, or if I am doing a little bit of remodeling, adding a room onto the back porch there, closing the back porch in and adding onto the house. So as you guys know, sometimes whenever you have active or construction going on, you sometimes get activity with that. But I will say, when I came in, there was a massive storm coming into the area. It was extremely windy, a lot of rain just coming into the area. And so I went upstairs to my bedroom to lay down. And just as I was laying down, a full shadow walked across my bedroom. It walked from the top of the stairs all the way across the room, stopped, and then ran back out. And it was, it kind of shocked me for a minute there. And I was tired. I had been driving for about 12 hours. So there's always that, did I really see that? But it lasted a long time in paranormal time, which is kind of weird. And so it was mentioned to me. I was telling my friend Sonia about this, and so she was like, "Do you think it could have come from that item?" So, like I said, I don't know if it's related to the construction that is going on here and the things that are being kind of changed around, if that brought something up, or if it could happen to do with this item, because I did have the item in my vehicle. I pulled it out, put it in the house whenever I left town, and I wasn't here anymore after I had brought it in and left town. So anyways, I say all that to say Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So I just want to look over here at the comments right quick before I pull up my phone and show you guys what we're going to be talking about. Just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Thank you so much for the warm thoughts. Very, very much appreciated. And our thoughts and prayers are with the folks who had storm damage this past week. We've got another massive storm that's supposed to be coming in on Sunday. Hopefully, it'll calm itself down and not be as bad as it was. I know that it was, it's predicted to be kind of rough again. I love storms, but I don't much care for, we've kind of got a reputation in the area of getting hit by some pretty bad tornadoes. Let's see here. Looking forward to seeing you, Susan, there at the Vet City Paracon. And let's see here. All right. Dee Dee asks, Nancy says remodeling and storms equals more activities. That is 100% true. Dee Dee says, did you see the shadow ever before you got the item? Not in my bedroom. I didn't. Now I did not have this item in my bedroom. I had it downstairs in the guest room. Was where I had it stored during that time. I have seen things here in the house before. Before I moved in and had a contractor working on the house before I was able to move in here, so that would have been 2 years ago. He was experiencing some stuff. I've seen some things out of the corner of my eyes, but nothing at all like this. I mean, this was literally as I laid down in the bed. It walked across the room, and it didn't walk it didn't run, it didn't stroll, it just kind of just walked across the room and got to the edge of the room and then turned and ran out. So my ceiling is a little bit low on the second floor, and it looked like whoever it was not quite as tall as I am, and I'm right at 6 foot, so it wasn't as tall as me. And there were no my cats were not upstairs either. So let me get my phone set right here, and we'll turn around. I'm going to reveal to you what I'm going to show you with the lights on what we've got in here, or what we're going to be investigating tonight, and then we'll see what we get. So let me get this pulled up. All right. All right, let me know if you can still hear me. And actually, that was so weird that when the microphone did that, it actually ended up setting off the flashlight. That was kind of wild. Can somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Just want to make sure. All right, thank you. All right, so what we've got here, now that light just came on. All right, so what we've got here is actually a World War II military cot. And like I said, this was gifted to me by a friend. It was in an antique shop, and the antique shop was closing. And so it's really cool. I just got it set up. And what's really fascinating about this is, I don't know that you can really see it very well, but it actually has blood on the cot. I'm going to turn this tripwire on so that we have that on. And I'm also going to turn the lights out. So I do have 3 flashlights sitting up here. Got the tripwire set up. I have not gotten any hits on the tripwire. I did turn it on. I set this up about 5:30 this evening, and set it up this evening, and was kind of talking to him about what we got here. See if I can set that up. I did not have any hits with the flashlights until, so I downloaded some different things. I downloaded a World War II recruitment ad. I also downloaded some music, World War II movie, a couple different things on there, or a movie that was going on during World War II, to see if I was going to play it later. And so as I was downloading it and playing it there, I started getting hits on the flashlight. So we will play that here a little bit later. But let me, let's see. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you so much. Definitely go back and watch the replay, and we'll see what we get. So I'm going to turn this off so you kind of see the lay of the land, how that works. And so we've got the EDI Plus box sitting over there. We've got, I didn't realize my house was so cool. It's the thing says 59 degrees, but it doesn't feel that way. It is quite cozy. I've got my spirit box we're going to set up later. I've also got, I've got the obelisk. We're going to see if we can get any words or anything associated with this. And we'll see, kind of see what happens. But I had the tripwire on earlier and the flashlights on earlier, kind of explaining what I was going to do. Again, like I said, I've not investigated before. I've not really heard any claims as to whether this had any activity or not. I just thought it was a really, really interesting piece of history. Now, I do want to try tonight. So I want to investigate this here in my house. And then I'd like to take it maybe at some point over to the jail, someplace that we know has activity. And based on what we get tonight, try it over there at the jail and see if it sort of fits our theory with, is it the location? Is it the item itself? See if one can trigger the other. I do want to try that. This whole past season, we did episodes there at antique shops that had active items in them, and antique shops that were active because of where they were from, or where they were located. So it's kind of taking this a step further and taking one of those items that, again, we don't know if it's active or not, and see if that affects the different places. So we'll try some different things to see what we can get. All right. So, do you guys have any questions that you would like for me to ask? How would you like for me to start? All right, so Dee Dee says, do you know where the cot was during the war? And did the shop give you any history? So I don't know where it was in the war. The cot came from North Georgia. As far as where I got it was from a shop in North Georgia. I do know that the blood apparently, now this is just coming from third-hand information, is that it said that the blood came from the soldier who owned it, had an abscessed tooth, and he had to have that taken care of. And so the blood actually came from that soldier and his abscess tooth. It was not someone who was killed on there, but it is blood nonetheless. So that is definitely a good question. That is all the information that I know about it. We got 2 flashlights that are lighting up right now. I don't know if that had to do with is that blood from your tooth? Okay, thank you. Were you from Georgia? If you were from Georgia, could you turn your flashlight on or light up that light on the on the bed? Any of those little lights that's on there? Were you from the South? I'm gonna turn the Ovilus on, and then I will turn after we use the Ovilus for a little bit, we will do a session with the spirit box. Okay. I wanted to turn this on because we had a temperature, foreign, and sign. Okay, that's kind of interesting. We were just talking about the temperature. It says it's 59.7 in here. And then foreign, that's kind of interesting. We were talking about where you're from. Yes, earbuds is definitely going to be a good thing. Who slept on this cot? Can you give me a name of who slept on this cot? Great question. Huh. Oh, ah. Hmm. This question is for the shadow. Oh, now this is weird. Okay. This question just said, did you look in my room? Look at the word we got. Watch. And the flashlight just came on. Okay, this says watch. Not gonna lie, that is a little bit eerie in my own house. Wow. Great question, Dee Dee. Okay, so it did say it watched. So, did you? I'm not quite sure what to say now. So for the person who watched me in my room, are you new here? Okay, so I'm looking at the comments here. So, Chris says OI is British, and it said foreign. Now that's really cool. Okay, so let me go back here to a few questions. Did you visit me in my room? Far, smell, before time, and cause. I'm okay not knowing if you visited me in my room. That's is the person that I saw connected with the house? Or is that your cot? Oh, Flashlight. All right, so that's your cot. Can you turn that on bright if that's your cot? All right, what did you do in the war? Can you tell me what you did in the war? Was your name Oliver? Now, I kind of want to this is really cool. So, I kind of want to hit back on what Chris said with the OI and where it said foreign and that being British. Were you were you British? Were you stationed over in Europe during the war? Were you at Pearl Harbor? Ooh, the temperature just changed. It just went up. You probably can't see that where the fireplace is. The temperature just went up to 60. Were you stationed at Pearl Harbor? Or were you part of the band of brothers? Was the cot in England? Nice. So you were in England, huh? I'll ask again. Is the figure that I saw in my bedroom attached to the cot? If the figure that I saw in my bedroom is attached to the house, do you like the fact that I'm adding on and remodeling the house? Did you survive the war? Can you see these purple lights? If you can see these purple lights, they're not going to hurt you. They're going to light up pretty colors and they're going to help me to answer or to get answers to the questions I'm asking. We've got a lot of people here that's very curious about you. Oh, thank you. Were you by chance a cook? How about a soldier? Hey, Beth, thank you so much for tuning in. Were you at D Day? Is there a new person in the house that maybe showed up with the cot? Okay, thank you. So you brought your cot to my or your cot was brought to my house, huh? Do you like it here? Were you a medic? Hmm. Disregard, slur, disregard, and tone. Okay. I'll ask again. Were you a medic? Was this your cot that you carried around with you in battle? Now, I've got a foot locker right there in the hall that belonged to my dad when he was in Germany. It's just right there behind the cot. Have you seen that? He was in the army, and it's just sitting right over there. Okay, go ahead and turn that light off. All right. If you can hear my voice, can you knock on something? Are you knocking on that light? Trying to make that flash? Now, I don't know if you all you probably can't hear it with this poor microphone, but my wind chimes are going outside. As soon as I started asking that, the wind kind of picked up and the chimes started going. So if you can hear my voice, can you knock on something so that we can hear you? How many people are here? We've got a series of lights on the cot right there. Can you light up the light for how many spirits are here? If there are two, light up two lights. If there are three or four, light up three or four lights. Can you do that? Beth says a couple of different male spirits are here that she's picking up on. One possibly named James, and not sure of the other yet. Okay, thank you, Beth. Is there somebody here named James? Oh, flashlight. Okay, thank you. James, is this your cot? Were you a pilot? Were you in the Army or the Air Force? What about the Navy? Were you a Marine? Okay. I'm going to add another tool. Doug and Breaker alone. Doug, Breaker alone. Okay, that makes me sad. I'm going to add another poverty. I'm going to add another tool. I'm going to add the REM pod. Oh, what did we get? Safe, file, do run, crayon, and lasting. Huh. Okay. Beth says they're between the ages of 19 and 21. Were you between the ages of 19 and 21? Now that light over to the left-hand side, that's just like a little plug-in night light thing over there. So just so you know, that's on the far left and it's reflecting on the wood floor. So, how long did you serve? Were you drafted? Or did you enlist on your own? Now, before we start that, I'm just gonna show you here. So I've pre-recorded a few things, so we're not using anything other than just a pre-recorded here. So let me turn that off. So thurifer. Thurifer. Not really sure if that has anything to do with anything. So we were talking about enlisting. Crescent. So we were talking about enlisting. So let me play. I've recorded a recruitment ad. So let's just play that. Well, if I can see, get it started. Okay, here we go. Flashlight's on. Did you hear that? Did you recognize that ad? Looking at the comments here. Yes, we did get the word do run, Susan. Yes. Just a few minutes ago. Hello, Dave. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so let's look back here. Okay. So what age were you when you joined the military? Were you 19? Were you 20? Maybe 21? Oh, okay. All right, thank you. It's bright. So you were 21? I know some people lied about their age. Some people were not even 18. You got a lot to say there, don't you? Is there anybody here that was under 18? Can you whistle? Now, that one tool that's there on the bed, if you touch it, it will actually make a sound. Don't let that alarm you. Were you deployed to Germany? Now, my papa that lived in this house, actually lived and died in this house. He was a Marine. And he fought during World War II. He was in several places. He was in the Aleutian Islands and the Philippines. He was in Hawaii. He was there at Pearl Harbor the day it was bombed. And he was a proud Marine. There's a question. Can you revisit your time in the war? Like be there in the time? Let's see, not very well, but time travel. Like to warn themselves of something. Example, go back to, oh, that's interesting. Can you jump between time? Well, let me ask this. Do you know what year it is? What year is it for you? That's a good point, Sonia. Somebody said the word breaker on this earlier. Is that your nickname? Oh, thank you. So did they call you Breaker? Beth, that's interesting. Other people keep saying they keep getting kicked off, and mine was acting kind of strange earlier. But what is fantastic is that, my phone was acting really, really weird when I was doing the investigation at the bank, and the screen kept going black. It's not done that at all tonight, knock on wood. There we go. Okay, so Susan, jumping back to what she says, and please forgive me, y'all. I'm going back and forth, moderating this as I'm sitting here. So I don't mean to jump back and forth. But Susan asked about if we got the word do run earlier. Do run likely refers to the Greek word doron, Doron, which means a gift, present, or offering. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Um, let's see. Um, well, would you like? I might have a gift. If I were to give you a gift, would you like one of those purple lights? I don't know if you can see color, but would you like one of those purple lights up on the bed there? If you would like for me to give you a gift, I have a flag behind me. If you'll light up during this session, if you'll light up one of those lights on the bed, one of those purple lights now, or make that alarm go off, then I'll leave you a gift. Now I'm gonna call you Breaker. Is that okay? If you're okay with me calling you Breaker, give me some kind of sign. Do you want me to leave the cot set up for a little while? If so, do I need to leave it here in the living room? Do you like it being there by the fire? Would you like for me to put it in the guest bedroom? How about I'm not gonna put it in my bedroom. Oh, wow, and that light comes on bright. Oh, and that light comes on. I don't know that I wanna leave that in my bedroom. Can you turn the 3rd light on? Wow, those lights are bright. Um, if you'll turn that 3rd light on, I'll set it up in my bedroom, but you gotta turn all 3 lights on. I guess it takes very little to convince me. Um, wow. Great question, Dee Dee. Um, I'll think on it, okay? I'll think about leaving it in the bedroom. Um, if I set this up at the bank or the jail, will you interact with us? Okay, Dee Dee says, in the song Do Run Bill, is the name mentioned? Is his name Bill or William? Is your name Bill or William? Did you man the radio? Here in just a little bit, I'm gonna turn the spirit box on here in just a few minutes and see if we can get anything. Oh, that's interesting. Um, Beth says Cecil is another name I'm getting as well as Leslie. the name could be for someone in the chat. Oh, good point. Is there somebody named Cecil here? I guess that could be a first or last name. How about Leslie? Or like Beth said, that could be for somebody in the chat. It was, Dee Dee. We actually ended up getting a wheelchair from the late 1800s from this antique store to go at the jail, and the lady there ended up actually gifting me this cot. So, do you like it here? Were you a merchant marine? Getting a cold chill over here. Would you like some smokes? I don't smoke, but I've got some. Oh, well, okay. All right. I can get you a cigarette. I don't smoke, but I can get you one. I'll go grab. Can you flash that light if you'd like me to go get you a cigarette? Well, I'm not going to make you do that again because, oh, what did this say? Just as soon as I stood up, this said up and measure. Preacher. Up. Bell and contrition. Up. Measure. Preacher. Bell and contrition. All right, so there, yeah, yeah. I don't know about that. They were pretty pretty clear. Yeah, definitely a young man. That's for sure. Hey, John, thank you so much for tuning in. Beth says James is the strongest one for sure. I don't know. Let's see. Could you have been a chaplain? Were you a chaplain? I'm going to go get a cigarette for you out of my. Oh, as soon as I stand up, this starts talking. It says pole and pencil. Pole. Okay, so let me. Bear with me 1 second. Actually, let me just sit this right here and I'll go grab that cigarette. All right. Oh. Okay, I don't know if that was that close. Let me see if that was that close. I just set the pack of cigarettes down. Okay, that's wild. This is, you can't see as soon as I set the cigarette down. And I'm sitting here. Okay, I was not close enough to set that off, but I don't know. Hey, this said solution, brought. I did bring those. Caress and cold. Okay. I also brought in a pack of playing cards. Used flow July. Okay. Well, I have some whiskey too. Tag and developed heavy. Oh, things have gotten chatty. Not James. I'm hearing something walking. Okay, I don't know what that was. That I doubt you all heard that, but there was something just walking back down the hall. Okay, that was really weird. Okay. Would huh. It sounded like it was walking away from here, or just not even really walking. It wasn't walking toward here. It was like it was just kind of walking back. Um, is there somebody in the hall? And if so, who is it? Can you give me the name of who's flat, rapture, together, and shaken? Would you like a little? Would you like a shot of whiskey or moonshine, or you just want a cigarette? Is that a family member that was walking in the hall? It was the weirdest sound because yes, I have cats. However, let me turn this flashlight on. Of course, I grab a light that's not working. However, my cat is sitting right there on, the others are up in my bedroom upstairs. There's a cat sitting there on couch, but there's not a cat anywhere else. down here. So I don't know. I don't know what that was walking. Okay. What do you think? Should we turn the spirit box on? Should we play play something else? Yeah. Oh, I just thought it was creepy that they wanted me to put this in my bedroom. I mean, to my right over here. Let me just sort of turn that light on. Elements, mistress, and Akasha. Pop and diction. Yeah, so it was down the hall over there. It was where I heard it. It was on back there. Is there somebody standing down here? Oh, really? Now the flashlight's going to come on. Okay, so time mark, that is at 1:17, right around 45 to 50. Definitely mark that time. And we'll go and look. Yeah, they can sleep in a tent outside tonight. I like that. Interesting. Dee Dee says that her ears were ringing really hard before that. Okay, that's interesting. Could you tell anything about what you saw standing there? Um, hmm. Sometime we'll do sometime we'll do an investigation here. It's interesting the things that we got here. My friend Tiffany and I were actually investigating here. This was back in 2020, way before I moved in, and the house had. I guess at that point the house had been vacant since 2005, and we came in and we were setting up. We turned the Ovilus on, and I was setting my tools out. And as soon as I set my dowsing rods out, I got the word water. And I thought that was really cool because I just pulled the dowsing rods out. It said water. And I believe that whoever was here knew that that's what that was used for, because I know there are two natural springs here on the property. The other thing that was really interesting, and it was the only name we got, and it was the only other time that the Ovilus spoke, and it said Sam. And my great grandfather's name was Samuel Oscar, and my great great grandfather's name was Sam Lawson. And so we and that was the only name we got here, and that was really the only two interactions that Tiffany and I got that night. So it's kind of cool because I felt like the Ovilus was on target with that. Um, so anyways, hey Ronnie, hope you're doing well. I think for the time being, let's see if I'm gonna hook the tape. Take and big is what the ovilus just said. Mad and troop. All right. Well, troop is interesting. And them. Mad, troop, and them. Which is interesting since, we're investigating this military cot. Panel. Now I was about to turn the spirit box on. Maximum tub, body, and substances. Okay, so let me hook this speaker up, and we'll turn the spirit box on. I'm back here in the middle of the mountains here. Hello. I'm back here in the middle of the mountains, so I don't really get a lot of good service. And I don't have internet. I just operate off of my hotspot on my phone. So that's kind of the good thing. We don't have Wi-Fi or anything like that reacting on us here. So let me get this here plugged in. Bear with me just a minute. I'm trying to do it with one hand. Trying to plug this speaker up. Let me sit this down a second. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I'm hoping that with this speaker, you'll be able to hear it better. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear this speaker? I know a lot of the time you can't hear this. All right. Can you tell me what this item is that's in front of us that we're looking at? What is this item that we're talking about tonight? What branch of the military were you in? What? Oh my gosh, did you hear that? That was a man. I thought it said war. Who won the war? Can you tell me what war this was? Yeah, it was either what or war. Very clear. Were you a soldier? Me? Okay, that was a female, and it said me. Yes, were you a soldier? Are you female? Okay, the obelisk just said large and sail. Were you on a boat? How many people do we have in here with us? Can you give me a number of how many people are here? Were you in the Navy? Were you in the Marines? Can you tell me your name? So I don't live too far from Oak Ridge. Did you know about the secret city? Is there somebody new here? Hello? Who is who was the person that I saw the other night? Okay. Was your tooth hurting really bad when it abscessed? Can you leave the house if you want to? Was that cot pretty comfortable when you slept on it? What is your nickname? Okay, that was a woman, but I don't know what she said. I think that the obelisk is dying. Yeah, the obelisk is. Huh. Oh, the obelisk is died. Okay, I'm going to try changing. I'm going to try changing this to AM FM.
Yeah.
It may be too much on AM. It's too much interference. Too much interference on the AM. So I went back to the FM. All right. Can you change the purple lights to a different color? Can you see the purple lights? Do you go wherever the cock goes? Okay. I don't know what that said. I can try, Ronnie. Um, do you have any hobbies? What you like to do for fun?
Snitch off now.
What makes you happy? I think we just get too much interference on the AM. Yeah, the AM side is good. Oh, is love what makes you happy? Were you married? Or maybe had a girlfriend?
Right.
Okay, I don't know what that said, but it was a man. Were you born here in the USA? That's a good point, Dee. If I put it in there, I will definitely put a camera on it. Limerick. Huh. We'll definitely go back and check that out. Whoa. It's to me that sounded like it said something soldier, and as soon as it said it, the light turned on. This breaker? I thought it said something like something soldier, but did you have heavy combat? It's something. I don't know. Can you see me? If you can see me, can you describe me? No, Ronnie, you may be hearing it better than me. Um, I've got the speaker facing the phone, so you can hopefully hear it better. I'll ask again. If you can, if you can see me, can you describe me or say my name? Can you say my name? Do you love your country? Can you tell me what year it is for you? Or who's your president? I'll have to go back and see what that said. Okay, that's a great question. Can you name an item in your K ration that they gave you that was your favorite? We got a response. I don't know if y'all heard that. What was your favorite K ration that they gave you? I'm just going to pull these up on the screen so that if that was a woman. So that when we go back and watch, we can see that. Who's the woman that we're speaking with? Can you, it did sound like a 2-syllable word like that. Can you tell me what branch of the military you were in? Can you tell me what the blood on the cot is from? Oh, it said 2. That said 2. So the blood was from your tooth. All right, we're going to wrap it up here in a few minutes. Is there anything else you would like to tell us? Who was the love of your life? Do you have a message for somebody? Is there anything you would like to tell us? Or anything I can do for you? Great question. All right. I'm holding up some fingers. Can you tell me how many fingers I'm holding up? If you can see me, how many fingers? I'm going to see if I can hold them up here in front of this light over here. That way you all can see how many I'm holding up. How many fingers am I holding up? How about now? How many fingers am I holding up? Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay, that was cool. And I was going to ask, is there anything you want to know? And it said, to me, it sounded like it said believe. I don't know. I'll have to go back, Ronnie, and see. It's possible. We definitely thank you for your service and are glad you fought for our freedom. I know that was hard being away from the family, so thank you. So I'm gonna turn this off. If there's nothing else you wanted to share with us, is there anything else you would like to share? All right. Thank you. All right. Are there any last questions? I mean, a couple of the voices now, AM seemed like that was just way too busy, but on FM, there was nothing coming through. But when the voices came through, they were very, very clear. Some of them I couldn't hear because I was kind of sitting behind the speaker because I was wanting to make sure to hold it near the phone because this phone doesn't pick up as well. So we'll definitely go back. I want to turn this light on and pull the computer up here. Give me 1 second. Oh. Okay. So let me pull my laptop up here. It's a little bit easier to. Okay. Now. One second. This is pulling up. All right, there we go. Okay. Well, so that was kind of interesting. Excuse me. I'm definitely looking forward to going back and watching over some of this, reading over the comments again, seeing some of the different responses. Seemed like quite a few interesting things. The tripwire is not lit up at all. And let me turn this heat up just a little bit. There we go. Gotten kind of chilly in here. Anyways, we got some interesting responses. I don't know. The tripwire did not light up at all. Had some hits on the flashlights. You know, those could go either way. There were a couple interesting ones. It was kind of wild when both of them lit up in response to where we should leave the cot. The Ovilus ended up completely dying on us, and there was a few really cool responses on that. It seemed like that was kind of spot on a few times. It is interesting that it died. It was fully charged, and then all of a sudden it's like it just hit the halfway mark and then just drained like that. And like I said on the spirit box, there was a couple responses that was pretty cool. So we'll go back. To me, sometimes I can hear the stuff in the moment. Sometimes I have to go back and really listen to it. But I want to thank you all so much for spending the evening with me. I know it was kind of late notice when we put out to that we were going to do the live investigation tonight. What my plans are is, so next week we can do one of two things. We can either review the bank episode or we can review this episode. We might be able to do both because they were somewhat shorter podcasts or somewhat shorter investigations. So we may review both of them, but next week will be an investigation review. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to do another investigation of the bank. My thoughts on that are that we will do a live investigation there, except since we didn't get as much activity when I was inside the bank asking questions. I think I'm going to set up cameras inside the bank and then go sit down in the jail. And so got a couple experiments that I want to do, and we'll see if we get activity with us investigating the bank, but actually not having a body present at the bank during the investigation, and see if that makes a difference. I'll even bring Sally down with me so that there is nobody or nothing in the bank itself. And we will ask questions over the walkie-talkie. We'll also go completely silent, and you all can ask questions over in the comments section, and I'll pull those up on the screen. I think we can do some pretty interesting experiments there to see if we get any more activity in the bank. Also, I'd like to take the cot to the bank as well as take the cot to the jail and see if the activity is increased, see what happens. And you know what? I might even actually, I really like this response from Ronnie of record a lot of questions on a recorder. So this is going to give us the opportunity to do some interesting research and some interesting experiments. So we will pre-record some of the questions. We can ask some of the questions over a walkie-talkie, and we can also ask some of the questions by just it seems like at certain times we do investigations, we actually get responses when you guys ask the questions in the comments section. So we will not actually ask anything out loud. We'll just put them up on the screen and see if we get any responses to our tools when we do that. So a lot of really interesting things we can try. Ronnie says, leave it in the bank, record it with a live feed or camera. That's exactly what we'll do whenever we do the live there. So if you guys will send me your questions. So again, we're going to do several different sessions with this. So if you'll send me some questions that you want me to ask at the bank next time, I'll pre-record those and we'll see if that makes a difference. I always like to see if I'm a firm believer that the energy that we come into a location with really affects the activity that we get. It doesn't necessarily cause it, but I think it affects it. And so I like to do this sometimes, pre-record questions and do things where I'm not in the room versus doing the same thing when I'm in the room, and see if we either get the same response or see if we get any response at all. So we'll definitely try that. So send us your questions that you want us to ask at the bank, and then we'll do that. So, but we probably won't do a live investigation next week. It'll probably be a review, and that may help us to be able to know what questions to ask and such. So if you missed that episode of the live investigation of the bank, go back and watch it. Also go back and watch this episode and look at the timestamps, and we'll see if if there's anything of interest that we want to talk about. And just know we'll do a review next week and probably a live investigation the week after. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight with your questions and your comments. It was a lot of fun as usual. You guys make this a special broadcast, so I appreciate that. If you are in the Bowling Green area, we would love to see you this coming Saturday. It's next Saturday. We would love to see you this Saturday at Historic Rugby, but then next Saturday in Bowling Green, Kentucky at Vet City Con. So we've got all that information on our websites, and also at the start of this podcast, we've got all that information. So, and I'm feeling absolutely drained all of a sudden. So please forgive me, because I'm feeling drained and like I just can't think of words, like I'm kind of blocked a little bit. But definitely we'll see you this weekend, hopefully, and next Thursday night. We should have a podcast for the Jailhouse Informant at 7 p.m. Eastern next Thursday, and then join us here on this page at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we will be reviewing some evidence or reviewing some lives and some potential evidence. So anyways, until then, y'all, please stay warm and stay safe this week if you are in the area of any of these severe storms that's going to be coming through on Sunday. So please be weather aware of that, and stay safe, and we will see you all very soon. Take care. Good night.